Hari Om. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapitha Jambo Phalasara Bhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinasha Karanam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. Welcome to DISHA's 7-up new series, which is an inward journey to discover our inner strength and happiness through Bhagavad Gita. We are in the midst of revising chapter 2, and in this course, today, verse 47 to 53 will be taken up by Dr. Anupama, along with Karma Yoga, a topic from Tattva Bodha. This will be followed by story time by Dr. Hegde sir and teaching quiz by Srimati Vasanta Kottapalli. Before Sir gives the introduction to the day's topic, let us listen to Srimati Aruna, who is going to chant and explain the shloka Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam. Over to you, Aruna ma'am.
Hari Om. This very, very powerful mantra, prayer to Bhagwan Ram, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, is an ancient chant. It is the 35th shloka appearing in the Ramaraksha Stotram. And this Ramaraksha Stotram was given to Buddha Kaushika Rishi in a dream given by Lord Shiva. Let me just chant this verse. Apadam apahartaram dataram sarva sampadam lokabhiramam Shri Ramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham. Next slide, please. Apadamapahartaram, the one is the one who alleviates obstacles and suffering. Dataram sarva sampadam, one who bestows all forms of prosperity and bliss. Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam, the master of the universe, O benevolent Rama. Bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham, onto this earth let your healing energy flow. As we can see, it is a mantra for averting calamities, for bestowing prosperity, and to get out of problems that create anxiety. The name Rama itself is the most auspicious of all. It is called a Taraka mantra, which means a liberator or a mantra which delivers freedom. The word Rama consists of two bij mantras, Ra and Ma. Together, they form the Maha mantra called Rama. A bij mantra is like a seed, a bija, which creates a particular kind of sound energy. According to Swami Shantanand Puri Maharaj, the bij akshara Ra cuts down attachments to samsara and clears the way to freedom. Ma is the Amrita Bija, which signifies deliverance and immortal happiness. Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi refers to Ra as meaning reality and Ma as the mind. So when these two are joined together, it leads to moksha. Therefore, the sacred word Rama is full of sound energy, which destroys samsara and leads to eternal happiness. The word Ram belongs to Bhagwan Rama, of course, the 7th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But just repeating the word Rama, Rama, Rama confers great benefits. As the famous Bhakti Mirabai said in her beautiful song, Payo ji maine Ram Ratan Dhan payo. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Aruna. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. To recollect, it is more than 1 year since we have started these Bhagavad Gita classes verse by verse, and it is the 7th session of the recap, studying important aspects in a special program called DISHA, Discovering Inner Strength and Happiness through the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm grateful to God, our gurus, and all those who made this unbroken succession of classes possible. As we are in the topic of DISHA, which is actually discovering inner strength and happiness, I would like to touch on the topic of happiness or discovering happiness. What is that which is common to all of us all the time? And that is, all of us want to be happy. About this, we are in common. We differ in the way we seek happiness. According to our Shastras, every action that we do is guided by Sukha Prapti or Dukkha Nivritti. That means if I do not do that, I will be in trouble. And therefore, my actions are guided and by avoidance of sorrow, or I work for happiness. Now, some people get up early in the morning. Why? They want to be happy. There are others who get up late for the same reason. Some people would eat well, while others would fast for the same reason. They would want to be happy. They want to experience happiness. For the same reason, people get married or end a relationship. For happiness itself, a person may become a monk, or at some stage in his life may give up his monastic life. Gautama Buddha, who had what to everybody looks like all the good things in the world, gave up everything worldly for the search, for the sake of happiness. Let us inquire a little more while we are in the theme of DISHA. How do we discover happiness rather than searching for happiness? It is the seeking after happiness that prevents us from finding happiness. Our Shastra says Ananda or happiness is of two kinds. One is Atma Ananda, which is our own intrinsic nature. And the second is called Vishaya Ananda, Ananda or happiness that comes through relationship with persons, objects, and situations. Vishaya Ananda, that means the happiness that comes through certain objects, situations, or happiness, is admixed with three kinds of problems. One is it has an admixture of sorrow. That means to acquire anything good in the world, there is a struggle. Whether I like it or not, to maintain it, I have to struggle. And then at some stage, it is taken away from me, and therefore it is called Dukkha Mishritatva. The second problem about any source of happiness from outside is it can never be entirely fulfilling. It is Atripti Karatvam. And after some time, we become dependent on it. And when it goes away, we suffer. And that is called Bandhakatvam. In contrast, the happiness, which is our own nature, is intrinsic. It is unconditional. It is always there. It gives a type of fulfillment that cannot be matched, and it is not admixed with sorrow. And because it is our own intrinsic nature, it does not enslave or cause any form of bondage. The best example given of Atmananda is the kind of joy that we experience during deep sleep. What is the situation during deep sleep? There is no object, there is no person, there is no situation, and yet I experience Purnatvam, and yet I experience limitlessness. Ask those people who struggle to fall asleep, then they will know the value of deep sleep. For the sake of deep sleep, you have all kinds of efforts. People go in for alcohol, for drugs, for all kinds of medication, for the same reason why they want to experience sleep, because it is in sleep that you will experience Atmananda or limitlessness. Swami Anubhavananda has told us it is searching for happiness that is keeps happiness away from you. And therefore, can we have a certain Maha mantra? Can we have a certain solution to discover happiness? Happiness is not discovered elsewhere. Happiness is discovered in the now. The time to be happy is now. Can we really experience this moment? Can we experience happiness right here? What do we have to do to become happy? Swamiji says, just be happy. It is our effort that takes us away from happiness. And in the process, that means by being here, by being in the now, and not doing anything, you will be able to discover the happiness that is always dormant within us. Why do we lose our happiness? It is the ego. In our mind, the ahankara wants to prove that I am someone to somebody. Swamiji says there is no need to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything because there is nothing to gain. There is nothing to lose. However, all of us have certain roles to play. And the solution is take it as a role, play those roles 100%. And again, our Maha mantra is Karnatak, play your role. You will always find situations and persons who are unpleasant and who cannot be changed. The world will continue to be that way. And so when a situation cannot be changed, we need to accept people and situations as they are and remain in a state of zero complaints. You will see the real obstacle to Atmananda, the bliss that we experience during sleep. Why is that we do not have when we are awake? Because our mind has got three problems. There are certain impurities in the mind called mala. The mind tends to be restless and the mind makes us feel very limited. So what is the solution to the mind? All our sadhanas work only on the mind. Karma yoga works on the mind to remove malam or the impurity, the need for objects, persons, or situations, which is called kama. The mind is restless and that is treated by upasana. And the mind can be treated by discovering our true nature through jnana yoga. Today's topic is all about karma yoga. The one activity that we do all the time from the time we wake up to the time we sleep is action. And this action, karma, can be transformed into a yoga by this formula when Nara Seva is Narayana Seva, through right action and through right attitude. Action can be possible through my body, through my speech, or through my thought. And every action, can it be selfless? And even if I'm doing action to my own self, treat it as an Atma Puja. When you give this body a bath, when you feed this body, when you rest this body, so you will see whether you are working on yourself or working on others. Every action can now become a sadhana. So the whole shift in karma yoga is, can I now be a contributor? This experience or this example Swamiji gives particularly for those who are highly skilled and those who are in power, who have a tendency to feel that they are doing a favor by doing their day-to-day action. Swamiji reminds us that if you have to be in karma yoga, remember all the time, it is your need. A doctor or a neurosurgeon survives only if there is an appropriate patient for his skill, and therefore the patient creates the doctor. Swamiji gives an example of a person who has an RAC ticket compared to others who have a confirmed berth, and see how their attitude is to a ticket collector when he comes. Those who have a confirmed berth don't seem to bother when the ticket collector comes. But when I do not have a confirmed seat, and when the ticket collector comes, you will see my attitude to him will be so nice, because now it is my need. I need a confirmed seat, so I naturally become nice. Whenever it is your need, and karma yoga is our need. And whenever you see karma becomes a yoga, you will naturally become nice. And what is the role that you do? Play it as Ishvara Arpana Bhava, and whatever outcome that comes, take it as prasada. the pinnacle of karma yoga, those verses that you will see here, where you can transform normally a binding action to a liberating action. Wherever there is an effort, there is a doer. All those you will see in today's class, where Dr. Anupama will touch on Tattva Bodha aspects of Karma Yoga and Karma Yoga from verses 47 to 53. Over to you, Dr. Anupama.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. The topic for today is Karma Yoga. Our discussion is based on a framework provided by a scriptural text called Tattva Bodha. With the information that we get from this text, let us understand the concept of Karma Yoga as taught by Lord Krishna with reference to verses 47 to 53, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita. Our focus today should be to internalize and assimilate this information to discover inner strength, happiness, purnatvam, and ultimately moksha. According to the scriptures, all our accomplishments as human beings should culminate in the scriptural accomplishment of moksha. This means that all material accomplishments, namely dharma, artha, and kama, are only secondary to the primary goal, the parama purushartha called moksha. To accomplish this goal, the sadhyam called moksha, the scriptures prescribe disciplines called sadhanas. When we take to these disciplines, we are called sadhakas. Therefore, sadhakas pursue sadhanas to accomplish the sadhyam. Once accomplished, the sadhaka becomes a siddha purusha. Our spiritual journey, therefore, is from sadhaka to siddha. What are the types of sadhanas? Sadhanas or disciplines are broadly classified into 3 levels or yogas. Yoga means that which links the sadhaka to the sadhyam, meaning the seeker to the sought. The word yoga is derived from the word yuj, which means combine or unite. Yogas are classified as karma yoga, upasana yoga, and jnana yoga, comparable to the rungs of a ladder which we ascend to reach our destination, which in this case is moksha. Now, what is karma yoga? This is the first rung. Karma is proper action and yoga is proper attitude. Karma yoga, therefore, is proper action or karma executed with proper attitude or yoga. What is this proper action? Those karmas which give a maximum positive spiritual influence upon us, wherein we give more and take less. These karmas are variously called Uttama Karmani, Sattvika Karmani, Para Upakara Karmani, or Nishkama Karmani. The scriptures have categorized these Para Upakarmani as the Pancha Maha Yajnas, namely Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Manusha Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. These karmas contribute primarily to our inner growth and strength, and secondarily to the welfare of the world. From these actions, a sublime action called yajna is born. As human beings, we have the ability to act with dedication and sacrifice. This is called yajna bhavana, an attitude wherein our karma transcends our body-mind and the associated ahankara, mamakara limitations. For example, when I serve my country, I live beyond my body. Now we understand that it is the motive not the action that matters. When we focus upon the motive behind any action, the very experience gives us the initial spiritual or inner growth. When we consider material accomplishments as subservient to this inner growth, worldly success and failures just become irrelevant. Sit aisidhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. What is meant by right attitude? Any attitude is born out of an understanding. For example, a passion for a sport is based upon our understanding of that sport. A right attitude is born out of right understanding. Based upon the information from scriptures, this is our understanding of karma. When we do a karma, it becomes a part of the universe. Is there a way of undoing a deed that has been done? Is there a way of unspeaking words that have been spoken? No. Every karma is just surrendered to the universe. The universal laws of karma then act upon this deed. Scriptures say that these laws are tools in the hands of the Lord which help maintain harmony in creation. This processed karma, called karma phalam, is then handed over back to me. If only we could remember this fact every moment of our lives, then every karma spontaneously becomes Ishvara Arpana. This is called Ishvara Arpana Bhavana, an attitude born out of this awareness, or a sense of akartritvam, non-doership. This verse from Mukunda Mala is an expression of Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. This means kayena vacha manasendriyaiva, either by physical action or by the utterance of words, by thoughts, or by the use of my senses. Buddhyatmanava prakrite svabhavat, by the use of my intellect, ego, or as impulsive deeds done by the force of my nature. Karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai, whatever I do in its entirety, I offer unto thee. Narayanaya samarpayami, to Lord Narayana, I dedicate every single deed of mine. This unconditional surrender of thoughts, words, and actions to the Lord is the very essence of karma yoga. Here we see Ishvara Arpana Bhava as the dedication of every deed to the Lord. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi as the single-minded consecration of all deeds. Samatva Bhavana as the elimination of anxiety and selfishness. Akartritvam is the sense of non-doership. Next, what is prasada buddhi? Remaining in this sense of awareness that every karma is performed with Ishvara Arpana Bhavana, an awareness of akartritvam, I no longer consider karma phalam as the result of my action, but as Ishvara prasada, so very sacred that I would never reject, criticize, or even claim it as rightfully due to me. I receive the karma phalam with a sense of gratitude, not as a bhokta. This is inner growth or chitta shuddhi. With this chitta shuddhi, I understand that all my problems in life are not caused by this world, but by my wrong handling of the world because of my ignorance, which drives me to perform karmas for material benefits. With Ishvara Arpana Bhavana, and prasada buddhi, my mind becomes equanimous. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam is therefore the hallmark of inner growth and emotional strength of a karma yogi. Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuvo mate sangastvo akarmani. We have a privilege called free will, a choice with regard to the action that we want to do. Te karmani adhikari asti. But the result is often choiceless. Phaleshu kadachana ma adhikari asti. Yet, no action is futile. Therefore, akarmani sanga ma. Do not resort to inaction. How can a karmi become a karma yogi? A karmi is engrossed in performing kamya karmas to gain punya, prayaschitta karmas to eliminate papa. This incessant activity only fuels the cycle of janma and marana. Krishna calls these karmis palahetavaha, kripanaha, the unfortunate, material resulted oriented ones. In contrast, the hallmark of a karma yogi is samatvam and kaushalam. Samatvam is a mental state of equanimity or poise, resulting in freedom from anxiety regarding the consequences of our actions. Kaushalam is an attitudinal change which enables this karma yogi to convert binding actions into liberating ones, very similar to a deadly virus being attenuated into an immunity boosting vaccine. What is the meaning of kaushalam? A karmi, a palahetavaha, does karma with the motive to gain material results. This binding, stressful karma, perpetuating samsara as raga, shoka, moha, and philosophically as jnana, marana, transmigration, shackle. A karma yogi performs this same binding karma with the attitude of Ishvara Arpana Bhava and Prasada Buddhi. This shift in attitude relieves him of the stress of performance and the anxiety of its outcome. He has now skillfully converted a binding action into a liberating one. This skill is called kaushalam. Krishna says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrute tasmat yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Therefore, prepare yujjasva by practicing karma yoga and attain chitta shuddhi. This chitta shuddhi is the sakshat phalam of karma yoga. Moksha is the parampara phalam attained in due course. Where and when? Lord Krishna says, Iha, in this very world, in this very janma. The first leap is from karma yoga to jnana yoga. Having analyzed the mundaneness of material accomplishments, this karma yogi is now overwhelmed with dispassion or nirvedam. Yada te moha kalilam buddhi vyatita vishyate tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyascha shrutasyacha. The sadhaka is now a yoga rudha, being deeply inclined to spirituality. Tad vijñārtam sa gurum eva abhigachyet. Graduating from karma yoga, he seeks jnana from a guru. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedam ayat nasti akrita kritena tad vijñārtam sa gurum eva abhigachyet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. This is the corridor stage, wherein the karma yogi is transitioning from aparavidya to paravidya. The driving force being dispassion or vairagyam, which is called nirvedam here. It is derived from Nitya Anitya Viveka, the realization that everything in this world is a time-bound product of karma phalam and hence anityam. Our desire for means, remember the sadhanas, which seem so virtuous, is only for the sake of the result, the sadhyam. Ironically, this desire for the end, the sadhyam, gets transferred to the means, the sadhanani, and we remain trapped in this whirlpool of samsara. The karmayogi now needs to get out of this whirlpool of samsara. A clear understanding dawns on him that karma cannot gain moksha or atma. Since atma is not produced or gained in time or space, nor does it need purification or modification. When the desire for karma palam goes, there is dispassion or vairagyam for karma also. How could karma be the means to that which is not produced by actions, akritam, and that which is eternal, nityam? He now needs to know more. Tat vijñārtham, in order to gain the knowledge of the only nitya vastu, that is Brahma jnana, this dispassionate Brahmana, the buddhi yukta, approaches only a guru, gurum eva abhigachet. Offering samatpani to the guru is a symbolic way of revealing the student's shraddha for the knowledge and bhakti to the guru. What is the role of the guru? A guru plays a pivotal role in Atma Jnana. Being a Shrotriya Brahmanishta, that is, one who can communicate this knowledge, remaining anchored to Brahman, he transmits spirituality, perhaps even without words. When an enlightened guru speaks to a qualified disciple who is now a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, and this student listens, spirituality just becomes tangible. A samsara that never existed is removed, and the inner awareness that always existed becomes known. This is called accomplishment of the accomplished. The stages of evolution of this karma yogi are: first, as a buddhi yukta, he is a person with an attitude or bhavana that material growth is subservient to spiritual growth. He realizes that dharma and moksha are more important than artha and kama. Second, karma jalam phalam tyaktva. He is not obsessed with material benefits generated by karma. Third, manishina bhutva. He seeks atma jnana from a guru to become a jnani. And fourth, janma bandha vinirmuktaha. Having got atma jnana, he is free from the shackles of samsara, free from the bondage of raga, attachment, shoka, grief, and moha, or conflict. Ultimately, free from punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. This karma yogi becomes a jnana yogi, and that jnani now gets mukti. This is the second leap, when he becomes a jivan mukta. He discovers purnatvam, abhayatvam, ananda, all within himself. This is called self-discovery. Yada samadho sthasyati. Krishna says that this atma jnani is achala nischala tishtati, free from two obstacles to self-knowledge. First, samshaya or doubts regarding my purnatvam called achala, and viparyaya or vasanas of finitude, the habitual notion that I always require external factors to be happy. This is nischala. Finally, anamayam padam gacchati. He once exhausts his prarabdha karma, he merges with the Lord, attains Videha Mukti or Ishvara Aikyam. This is the sadhaka's journey from Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga, and then from Jivan Mukti to Videha Mukti. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anupama. That is the objective of DISHA. The objective of DISHA is to be able to touch on the fundamentals like the sadhana of Karma Yoga and connect it to the Gita verses that we are able to study and see how we can apply these verses in our daily life. I would like to touch on 3 important Gita verses in this series. One is yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Now, this is another definition of karma. What is this? Normally, whenever I do any action, even as a surgeon who's performing an operation, the focus will be, I hope my patient is cured and he does not have any complications from this surgery. That is called siddhya asiddhyo. Now, the focus will always be on siddha. That means I want my action to be a success. Now see what the vision of a karma yogi is. I will do my very best. I will leave the results to the Lord. And therefore, my role as a karta is not affected by the bhokta. The bhokta is one who experiences mentally the imagined consequence of a particular action. And therefore, yogasta kuru, that means be a karma yogi. And if you are doing an action in which your mind is at peace, your mind is at samatvam, such a person, Lord Krishna says, is a karma yogi. So he does his work, he's not stressed by his work. He may be doing stressful work like a surgical operation, but yet is not under stress because now he is enjoying what he's doing. Now he is a karma yogi. And this is a new definition of karma yoga as samatvam yoga uchyate. This is another excellent verse. It says, buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrite dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva yogaha karmasu kausalam. Kausalam means skill in action. Here we are not talking about your skill in surgery or in any particular field of activity. The real skill is that, can I convert any binding action into a liberating action? Whenever I do any action, as was already explained by Dr. Anupama, whenever you do an action, it is released into the universe and it has its own consequence. So whenever you do yoga, karma as a yoga, then what do? Jahati, you are giving up any consequence. What are the consequence? Ube sukrite dushkrite. You are giving up the punya or the papa. That means you are not doing it as a doer. There is no ego in performing that karma. The real skill in action is being egoless in, being a karta. Allow him to perform through you. And this is what Sri Krishna says is real skill. And now you can do any amount of karma, but there is no consequence of it on you. There is no punya or papa. Ube sukrite dushkrite. And finally, this is a beautiful verse which has been nicely summarized by the 5 steps by Dr. Anupama. Karmajam buddhi yuktaya. Do your karma anchored in yoga. So whatever karma is born out of karma yoga, then what do? Palam tyaktva. That means you're not worried about the consequence. Such a person is really a jñāni, is a manisha. You have those beautiful verses which we studied earlier called Manisha Panchakam. Once you are a manishi, once you are an enlightened person, then you are janma bandha vinirmukta. You are free from the bondage of janma. You attain to jivan mukti and videha mukti. And such a person, padam gachanti anamyama. Now, this is the glory of karma. Now, if we have studied all these verses properly and listen to this particular audio, you will be able to answer these quiz, which will be conducted by Vasanta. Now, to formulate a quiz is not easy. A lot of effort has been gone, and please understand the limitations. Sometimes the limitations are not that you do not know the answer. The limitations in where the questions are framed, they're still in the evolving process. So Vasanta will conduct this quiz. Over to you, Vasanta.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Now we go on to the quiz on Karma Yoga. So please chime in with your answers. First, fill in the blanks with one of the following words: Sadhyam, Sadhana, Siddha, Sadhaka. Here, look at the sentence on the screen and answer, please. The sadhaka through sadhana attains the sadhyam and becomes a siddha. Next, our spiritual journey is from to. Our spiritual journey is from sadhaka to siddha. Next, yoga means that which links the and. Yoga means that which links the sadhaka and sadhyam. Now we go on to karma yoga refers to uttama karma, satvika karma, para upakara karma, nishkama karma, or all of the above. All of the above. Now, para upakara or nitya karmani are called Tyaga, Dana, Pancha Mahayagna, Madhyama Karmani, or Adhama Karmani. Para upakara or nitya karmani are called Pancha Mahayagna. Each Pancha Mahayagna involves fire and gratitude, gratitude and upakara, jnana and karma, dana and puja, seva and upakara. Each Panchamahayagna involves gratitude and upakara. Now pick the right answer. The moment you do a karma, it becomes a part of the earth, accounting system, universe, past, ether. The moment you do a karma, it becomes a part of the universe. This karma is processed by the hands of fate, by the laws of nature, by the wishes of God, by the laws of karma, or none of the above. This karma is processed by the laws of karma. These laws of karma are the weapons of the Lord, the whims of the Lord, the wishes of the Lord, the tools of the Lord, or none of the above. These laws of karma are the tools of the Lord. Pick the right answer again. This processed karma is called karma phalam, prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, agami karma, nitya karma. This processed karma is called karma phalam. For a karma yogi, every karma is Ishvara arpana, and every karma phalam is Ishvara prasada. The hallmark of a karma yogi is samatva bhavana, that is mental balance or equipoise. For this attitudinal change to samatva bhavana, a particular change is mandatory. What change is mandatory? For this attitudinal change to samatva bhavana, a cognitive change or change in understanding is mandatory. A karma yogi is called buddhi yukta because he is intelligent, he has knowledge, he has a proper perspective, he thinks logically, he is a jñāni. A karma yogi is called a buddhi yukta because he has a proper perspective. Krishna's prescription for cognitive change. And here we substitute the appropriate Sanskrit phrase, and we have the shloka written right below so that you can look at the shloka and answer. You have the free will to choose your actions. So Krishna says, karmani eva adhikaraha te. And you have no choice over the results. Ma phaleshu kadachana adhikaraha te. Krishna's instructions to a sadhaka are, have mental equipoise. So there is siddhya siddhyo samo bhavana. That is the same attitude towards success and failure. And then there is samatvam and there is yoga. All these are words for mental equipoise. Do not, and Krishna's next instruction is, do not be inclined towards inaction. Ma te sangah tu akarmani. And next he says, be detached towards material accomplishments. Karmajam phalam tyaja. So in the sloka it says tyaktva, but if you have to just say it, you have to say tyaja. Convert binding actions into liberating ones through yoga. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Thank you. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Thank you, Srimati Vasanta, for the enjoyable teaching quiz covering the entire topic of the day. Thank you, Dr. Anupama, for the wonderful talk, which was very comprehensive. Hope all of you enjoyed this session. We'll come back with DISHA 8 on Monday, 9th May. Before that, this Friday on 6th May, we'll have Mundaka Upanishad class. Please log in by 6:45 p.m. on Friday. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.